The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
Let us start with the most important event for Georgia on 6 September 2022. The European Union and Georgia held the 7th meeting of the EU-Georgia Association Council in Brussels. The Association Council highlighted the historic importance of the decision of the European Council of 23 June 2022 to recognize the European perspective to Georgia. The participants acknowledged that the European Council expressed readiness to grant candidate status once the priorities specified in the Commission's opinion have been addressed. The future of Georgia and their citizens lies within the European Union. In this context, the EU welcomed that the work had started in the Georgian Parliament and encouraged the ruling party to engage in an inclusive process with participation of representatives from the civil society and parliamentary opposition groups. The EU called on Georgia's political forces to unite, work together and engage to address these priorities as a matter of priority. The EU underlined that Georgia's European path is merit-based. The EU is ready to use all instruments to support it. At the same time, the Association Council highlighted the historic importance of the decision of the European Council of 23 June 2022 to recognize the European perspective to Georgia. The participants acknowledged that the European Council expressed readiness to grant candidate status once the priorities specified in the Commission's opinion have been addressed. The EU acknowledged that Georgia has carried out a number of challenging reforms and successfully approximated its legislation with the EU acquis in many sectors. The EU expressed, however, important concerns over the lack of substantial progress and negative developments in some key areas in 2021. The EU encouraged Georgia to redouble its efforts to further consolidate democracy and reduce the political polarization, to strengthen the rule of law, the independence, integrity and accountability of the judiciary and the fight against corruption. The EU also called upon Georgia to further enhance the respect of human rights and fundamental freedoms, including gender equality, and ensure equal treatment between women and men, as well as persons belonging to minorities, regardless of religion or belief, ethnic or national origin, race, language, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, ability or other ground in social, political and economic life, and stress the importance of media freedom and civil society engagement. We can listen to some of the main messages that came both from Brussels and Georgia.
The European Union accession is a merit-based process, that there are no shortcuts and no magic involved. It's not a matter of political declarations, but political will that converts wills on results. And only visible and tangible progress in reforms can drive this process forward. The criteria and expectations are very clear. When it comes to issues such as political culture based on inclusiveness, respect for the principles of democracy, the rule of law, the independence of judiciary, freedom of media, or alignment with European Union standards and policies. Georgia has decided to embark on the European Union path and also to take on these responsibilities, and now it's relevant is to deliver. Allow me to stress also that the accession process needs to be accompanied by a national consensus. I have shared our assessment on some key areas where Georgia's performance recently has raised some concerns, such as the judiciary, the rule of law, and media freedom, including increasing political pressure on independent oversight institutions and opposition media. These areas are crucial when it comes to European values and principles, and we count on Georgia's effort to address the existing shortcomings. Once again, the government first, the whole political spectrum after, and the whole civil society also. I'm looking very much forward to see Georgia advance on this path. And we hope that all Georgia's political forces will seize this historic opportunity and step up their efforts to obtain the candidate status and advance closer to the European Union.
This path leads us to where Georgia naturally belongs, namely in the family of European democracies where we share common values, have common goals, and promote peace and solidarity. The European perspective comes with huge responsibility, and we perfectly understand it, to ensure highest political, economic, and legal convergence with the European Union. The historic decision of the European Council created a whole new set of benchmarks that will play a game-changing role for Georgia. And yes, Georgia is fully committed to implementing 12 priorities as identified by the Council. We remain strongly committed to fully exploiting the potential of the association agreement, including the DCFTA. Very recently, we have adopted the new association agenda for 2021-2027, which reflects the ambitious goals on our common agenda. Achieving maximum integration into the EU single market remains one of our core goals. Developing connectivity between the EU and Georgia, especially in the Black Sea, promises important benefits to the wider region, especially given the current geopolitical context and the major challenges we all face, like energy security, food security. We have invited our EU colleagues to tap into a unique possibility that Georgia, as a potential key transit hub on EU's global connectivity map, can offer.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.